Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com.
This week on Duel Review, Eden to the East, followed by Three Amigos.
We do Earth Defense Force, the video game, and we start off the week with encyclopedias about Marvel, DC, knowledge within pages.
Knowledge
words.
is power.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Monday the 3rd of October. We're doing encyclopedias dedicated to comic books and the like.
Yeah, well, just kind of, we had a whole bunch, or I have a whole bunch of those things, and I find them really valuable, so I thought we'd just share our thoughts. It's kind of hard to navigate the sea of encyclopedias. Right. So anyway, yeah. First of all, it's a new month, so yay!
October!
Pinch and punch. First day of the month was a couple days ago. Anyway, after that inappropriate display of abuse.
I was abused.
So first of all, encyclopedia, just basically backstory of all the characters.
Right.
A lot about how they fit in. This is actually a good tool to use, I think, to navigate the sea of comics, right?
Absolutely,
I mean,
especially in like the Marvel universe where there's multiple characters with the same name, and then there's several universes.
Right. But I mean, just even in the guise of like, hey, I like Deadpool. So you read Deadpool and it says, okay, well, he was part of this, X-Force, he was part of the, whatever. Right. It gives you all the teams, so then you can go look up the comics.
That's true.
Of course, you can always go to Marvel and just type in Deadpool and see what comes up. But this is really fun because it gives you backstories in a nutshell. I'm huge on backstory. I love backstory with my own characters. I create large There's no character that's like unknown or he just showed up. I haven't decided yet. I have backstories for all my characters. Right. And I love going through the Marvel books, especially. The DC one is okay. I haven't actually bought the DC one yet, just because I don't like the DC characters enough.
But I think that everyone who's been watching us knows that we're not a huge fan of DC. We prefer Marvel.
I love Batman though, and that's why I have Batman Encyclopedia.
Which is right here.
Show it, Vanna. Thank you, Vanna. So anyway, this one in particular is not quite like the other ones.
One of these things is not like the other.
Because it is literally an alphabetical, like character by character. It gives every information about them. It's not quite the same. It's more of a true encyclopedia, like a dictionary almost.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, here's stuff about Harley Quinn, and here's stuff about Nightwing, and here's stuff about whatever. So this is really a fascinating read. There's a lot of Batman characters that I wasn't really familiar with, like Crazy Quilt. Even Calendar Man. I mean, I guess I knew he was around.
Yeah, I knew Calendar Man.
But, I mean, like, just looking through it, it's like, the Eagle? I don't remember the Eagle, but here's a little blurb on him. It's not very long, but... so this is a really fun read if you're into Batman. I got this one, I think at Borders, right before it started getting into trouble. So it wasn't too expensive. It says $29.95, but I'm sure it was less than that. Also, if you have, like, a half-price books or something like that, usually there's some of these around.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily this one in particular, but like if I ever buy a DC, that's probably where I'll buy it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a fascinating read. It's hefty. I mean, it's all backstory. There are pictures. They show you what the character looks like. Every once in a while, there'll be a plot point or something that they show, or a panel, or even a page they show. But it's mostly just text.
Right.
So that's a good one. I like that one a lot. That's it for DC, really. On the Marvel side, they've got, the Essential Spider-Man, they've got the Essential X-Men, they've got just Marvel Encyclopedia.
Silver Surfer, I think there's one.
Yeah, they choose a lot of the big characters or central characters to worlds. Like the space world would be Silver Surfer.
And then what they do is they get into events that have happened. They've really given more detail to them, as opposed to, like, the Marvel Universe Encyclopedia, as opposed to, the X-Men or the Spider-Man. The Marvel Universe has characters and sometimes events, as opposed where the more dedicated ones.
Right. So this one is an encyclopedia of backstories of characters, right? And then the Marvel Universe is kind of the same thing for Marvel characters. They tell you a little bit about this is the costume she might have had, but it was rejected at the last minute or changed or whatever. So they have interesting things like that in here too.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really just, okay, here's Hulk, and this is how he got his power. This is his little backstory, whatever. So it's a lot more akin to the Batman one where it's mostly backstory, but this one has a lot more pictures and whatnot.
And in color.
Yeah, in color. Yes. So and they go through eras and whatnot, and there are pages dedicated to each character, kind of thing. And obviously they can't get them all. It's not that small of a book. But yeah, so I mean we've got snippet on Wolverine and Sabretooth, kind of thing, and just backstory of the major Marvel Universe characters, and some of the lesser ones too. But then you get into the specialty ones like you were talking about, like X-Men here. And X-Men very much goes into story specific to the X-Men, how the worlds have evolved, the different iterations of them. This one also just came out after the movie, the first X-Men movie, so it has a bunch of that in there. And this kind of leads me, a little segue into, there's a lot of versions of these things.
Right.
There's a lot of...
whenever a new movie comes out, they put out a new one.
Right, and that's really the major difference. I mean, there is obviously more comics that have come out and whatever, and more video games and whatever, but mostly the new content is just nods to those new things. It really doesn't elaborate on because it's the same characters. It's been a long time since Marvel really created characters that I know of, besides maybe NYX,
right.
Thing. And certainly,
well, they did New Mutants too, and that was fun.
Weapon X is in here, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not so sure that you have to get the latest release edition. I would again look at a used bookstore like Half Price Books or something and look for that. But these are really fun. Like here's a good one, like Psylocke. I've always liked Psylocke, but I've missed a lot of her comics. And so this one gives a nice synopsis, whatever. Obviously gives artwork, but this is another one like, this was going to be her costume. She was like this weird, fully clothed cloak, lady. And it's just interesting. It's just interesting that they almost went with that. Obviously, they picked something very different. But they have one for Shadowcat and whatever. But, in the Psylocke, it has her war with the Shadow King and, things that are specific to her and her X-Men adventures. So, yeah. I think they're definitely good. I use them a lot just to refresh my memory and to kind of see how they all fit together. And
so, as a comic book creator, what would you look for in another publisher's encyclopedias like this?
What do you mean? What do we look? I guess I just look for. Yeah, I want to see how in depth the story is, because I know that like Stan Lee created mutants by and large, kind of a way to escape kind of the. They were doing all the scientific gamma rays and nuclear blasts and whatever, and then it's just like, let's just say they're mutants.
Yeah.
So we don't really have to come up with a specific thing and make up some BS. We just say they're mutants and this is their power. And so I want more backstory than that. And of course they've created more backstory for most of the characters after the fact. But it's interesting, I guess, to follow that kind of thing. Like the Batman stuff, it's all about the psychoses, and so it's a lot of tragic beginnings and whatnot. So just to see the differences between the creators, and it gets the creative juices flowing, just like watching a good movie or reading a good comic. It's just like, oh yeah, and you get some of the stuff you missed. Like there was a thing between Storm and whatever.
Wolverine.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those. Yeah, because remember you mentioned that, and I didn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the Mohawk era.
And in an alternate future, Wolverine and Storm get it on.
So, very white. Yeah, I definitely think they're worth a look. Would you?
Well, I would. The ones that I think you can go both ways. I think you can go, character synopsis, and you can go events that have happened in Marvel. Because if someone says, let's see, like the Invisible War, some people may not know what happened there. What else is there? There's War on Infinite Crisis, which is you may think wait, is that Marvel or DC? I don't know. Well, if you get the right encyclopedia, you can find out. So I think knowing those events, this way you don't sound like an idiot when you're talking to your friends.
Yeah, well, they certainly are education tools. I think more than not, I use them for just character reference, and remembering these characters, seeing what I missed, and navigating the sea of comics, like I said, because you can kind of see, okay, they were part of this and this and this. And so it'll help me
Right.
figure out.
So as comic book
follow.
creators, I would say that the best use of these is to see what other people have done, what you can do differently, and what you can take from them, and whatever else.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Like
know.
going to the library when you have an assignment.
Yeah. So it's
Do
not.
research.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as creators go, 90% of what you do is research. It's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Trying to find a new take, and it's always like one of those things like, I have a great idea, and then you find something like it, and then like, crap. I gotta think of something better.
It's been done before.
So anyway. Okay, that's it. I'm melting like a hot house flower here, so.
Hot house flower?
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was all confused with a hot house flower.
That's what I was. That was my aim. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended.
Trying to get me distracted. Well, I got that. I mean, it's right there. Where is it on the bottom? Wait, where is it on this?
Right there.
Oh, right there. There it is. Yeah, there. Right there.
Stop touching it.
I'm rubbing my win.
Coming up, it's Eden of the East, the anime.
You ready?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I asked if you were ready. You did this, and then you just didn't say yes.
I am ready.
Okay, good. This week on Duel Review, Eden to the East, followed by Three Amigos.
I'm sorry.
You're not ready.
I was thinking that I was supposed to say Eden of the East, and I was trying to remember exactly what it's called. I'm sorry. Earth Defense Force. Okay, let's go.
Welcome to Monday the 3rd of October. We are doing encyclopedias related to comic books and the like.
Yeah, the like is
The like.
the like. So anyway, yeah, it's the first day of the month, or first.
The first week of the month. It is our first episode of the month.
My mom and I used to do that all the time. Pinch and a punch.
We used to abuse each other.
No, it was very light. It wasn't like pinch and a punch. Hi, Mom. First day of the month. You know what that means? Anyway, let's start that over again. You're being weird.
I'm not being weird.
I'm being weird.
You are being weird.
Wait,
I think the heat's getting to you.
it's on. Nick has just discovered crazy clips.
There's like a big blurb about him.
Yeah, I know. He looks so cute in his little skirt, too.
Yeah. Maybe it's a kilt.
A quilt kilt?
Kilt.
A kilt?
There's no V. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Welcome very much to Duel Review.
Welcome very much.
Welcome very much to Duel
Okay,
Review.
so you're doing East of Eden and Three Amigos.
Esta vida dentro Domingos, yeah.
Don't know what it means.
Now you're trying to hypnotize them.
We are intelligent, smart people who know everything. Except me sometimes today. And Nick usually always.
Okay, fine. Welcome to today. Hold on.
Sorry.
Okay. Welcome to today, Monday, the 3rd of October. We are doing we're doing Marvel versus shit.
It's a new month!
Okay. Welcome to Monday the 3rd. We are doing. Damn it, Marvel. We're doing encyclopedias. That's what I'm saying. We're doing encyclopedias. Comic book related encyclopedias. Here we go.